Revenge is not the Jedi way.
I am no Jedi.
Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. As always, it's me, the Smithie D. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the new Ahsoka Tano. This character is currently unreleased and the footage is part of the EA Game Changers program. A big thank you to EA Jesse and everybody that was involved to get us this early gameplay footage. In this video, the areas I will be covering: her stats, her abilities, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and also the final verdict. And for the first time ever, we're going to be grading the character as superhero, hero, vigilante, or villain. Which one will Ahsoka be? Stay tuned to find out. Can we break 1,000 likes on this video? Use them force powers of yours. If not for me, do it for Ahsoka.
I'm glad I gave you something to look forward to.
At 7-star max gear, Fulcrum Ahsoka has 18,444 health, and she also comes equipped with 19,839 protection. This is all excluding mods, and I feel that she has a good amount of health and protection for an attacking character anyway. Very similar health and protection to Ezra Bridger. Her speed is 148 with potency of 28% and tenacity of 34%. The potency and tenacity is not something to jump around about, but her speed is a really good solid number. She is 5 speed faster than Ezra Bridger and 5 speed slower than Chirrut Imwe. If we wanted to look at the bigger picture, Ahsoka is 22 speed slower than the fastest character in game, but is 58 speed faster than the slowest character in game. She has 2,572 physical damage with a critical chance of 39.25%. I think she has some really solid all-round stats. However, she does only have the Rebel faction tag. She does not come equipped with the Phoenix or Jedi faction tag. I 100% agree on her not being a Jedi at this part of her life, but not having the Phoenix tag could be debatable. But with the character being Fulcrum Ahsoka, this version seems to be just before she met the Ghost Crew.
There are no Jedi. You and your Inquisitors have seen to that.
Her basic attack is called Balanced Strike. This deals physical damage to a target enemy and gain protection up for 2 turns and grant protection up to a random ally for 2 turns. Protection up will provide Ahsoka and her ally with a 40% protection increase. This is a positive status effect and can be dispelled. Her first special ability is called Meditate. This has a 3-turn cooldown. Ahsoka gains Foresight and Retribution for 2 turns and each non-unique buff excluding Taunt present on other allies for 2 turns, then gains 15% turn meter for each buff on her. So straight off the bat from using Meditate, Ahsoka will be receiving 2 buffs which will equal to 30% turn meter. Duplicate buffs cannot be copied. For example, let's say Chirrut Imwe has 6 heal over time buffs applied to him. Ahsoka will only receive the 1 heal over time. If Ahsoka already had the buff applied to her, she will not duplicate it. The aim here is to copy as many buff types as possible. You're going to need to get 5 more buffs to Ahsoka to get her over 100% turn meter. So that would be 7 buffs in total for 105% turn meter, or 6 buffs in total for 90% turn meter. Her second special ability is called Whirlwind. Zated, it has a 3-turn cooldown. It consumes all buffs on Ahsoka and deals physical damage to a target enemy. This attack scores an additional hit for each type of buff consumed. The target cannot evade and has a minus 50% armor against this attack. The Zeta part of this will reduce the ability's cooldown by 1 and make this attack unevadable, and reduces the target enemy's armor by minus 50% against this attack. This ability can be very powerful and can one-hit an enemy as long as Ahsoka has a good amount of buffs on her. Ahsoka has one unique and it's called Perseverance. Ahsoka is immune to damage over time effects and gains 30% critical avoidance. At the end of each turn, Ahsoka dispels all debuffs on herself, loses 10% health for each debuff dispelled, then recovers 5% health for each buff on her. This health loss cannot defeat Ahsoka. With this unique, Ahsoka is immune to damage over time and it cannot be applied to her. She has a self-cleanse mechanic which she will cleanse herself at the end of any turn. This includes ally and enemy, but at the cost of damaging herself per debuff cleansed.
Then I will avenge his death.
So I've gone over Ahsoka's stats, I've gone over her abilities, now it's time to look at the good, the bad and the ugly. So let's start off with the good. She is immune to damage over time, so those dots will not apply to Ahsoka. She is a specialist attacking character. This character, Fulcrum Ahsoka, can do some serious damage with the right buffs around her. She can one-hit a character. She has a automatic turn-based self-cleansing mechanic, and she is the first character to have this. She has a good amount of speed, she's got a good amount of critical chance, but I would really advise to put some critical chance mods on her, some speed and critical damage if you really want to be getting the best out of your Ahsoka. She's a very high performer in the AAT, she's going to work very well with rebels and she's going to increase your score in that area. I would advise not to really use her in phase 1 because she doesn't really fit there. Because of her attack doing multi-attacks, it's then just going to be proccing General Grievous. So she's going to be best suited for phase 2, phase 3 and phase 4. She fits right at home in a rebel or a self-buffing team. So we've gone over the good, now let's have a look at the bad. She needs a team around her that provides a steady amount of different types of buffs for her to excel. You could run her outside of a team like this, but you will be then getting nowhere near what she is capable of. I can't really see any more points that fit the bad area, but I do want to address one big point that some may class as bad. There is no Phoenix faction tag on her, but I believe this is because the Ahsoka we have is pre-Phoenix Squad. Ahsoka Tano, codenamed Fulcrum, was a former Jedi Padawan and Rebel informant who provided missions and intelligence that supported the Rebels in their fight against the Galactic Empire. To ensure the secrecy and security of Tano's identity, Hera Syndulla was the only member of the Ghost Crew who made contact. Additionally, Fulcrum used scrambled audio in transmissions to disguise her voice. Based on this, I'm not going to be putting no Phoenix tag in the bad section. So we've gone over the good, we've gone over the bad, now let's have a look at the ugly. Her unique that cleanses debuffs can do some serious damage to herself. I don't think there is anything else that I can class for the ugly section, so I'm going to move on to the final verdict.
I am no Jedi.
Similar to my previous gradings which went from A all the way to D, but I have replaced them with superhero, hero, vigilante and villain. Superhero is the best of the best and can be ran in almost any team. Hero is a really good character but has limitations to succeed greatness. Vigilante is they are good and bad. Villain is just pure bad. Fulcrum Ahsoka is such a great and fun character to use and I feel she will really shine under a Zeta Gen leadership. She will also work great with any rebel that provides her stat increases like a Zeta R2-D2 can. You're probably going to see some players dusting off their old Ben and layers and using them in the arena with Ahsoka. Ahsoka is a specialist attacker and will need a team built around her. After a lot of thinking and researching, I've decided to give Ahsoka the Hero Badge. She is an amazing character at 7-star. I haven't seen a 3-star version of her yet, but I do find it difficult to imagine that she will be able to run at 3-star in the arena just like Darth Nihilus can. This is mostly due to her lower HP and lower physical damage she will have at 3 stars. So what is your thoughts on Ahsoka? Will you be gearing her up? Do you have any questions that I can answer for you? Let me know in the comments below. If you haven't already, then please make sure that you are checking out gaming-fans.com for news, guides and videos on Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. If you've enjoyed this video today, then please help me hit 1000 likes on this video. Thank you very much for watching. I'm the Smithie D. May the Force be with you always.